and welcome to another episode of Who's That Anime with your host Steve and Colin. We're
What's
still
up?
traveling down the rabbit hole of Steins Gate Zero, and this episode is brought to you by Bridget from Guilty Gear Strive and her theme tune,
Oh,
or his theme tune, their
how
theme
many?
tune.
How many times you listen to it?
In the last day,
Mm-hmm.
or just tonight?
Just tonight, actually. Give us the.
I must have listened to it at least, let's say 20 times, because I didn't go straight to the 10-hour loop on YouTube. I listened to it at least once or twice on the normal thing.
Fair.
God damn you, Arcs. Arcsoft? Is that the name?
Arc System Works.
Arc System Works. Arc System Works.
There you
And
go.
Evil for
Uh,
announcing Bridget. Return of Bridget, I have to say. Who is a dude.
I've never played Guilty Gear, really.
Yeah. I play it on and off. I like it. I kind of like the fucked up story of it, because it all starts like in, I think, the original story starts back in the 90s,
Okay.
and then I think either something like the Y2K thing happened, and all technology ceased to work. So then they go to magic, because magic comes a thing. So it's kind of like a Japanese take on visionaries.
That's
That,
cool.
because that's what happened. Only not really. That's about the only similarity to Visionaries there is, except from, I suppose, because they did magic, and then some dude created gears, which is like a weird enemy thing, and they go a bit rogue. And that's like the first
And
game.
are they
And
particularly guilty?
uh, well, the boss was called Judgment, I think.
I played a bit of Zerd for a bit.
Zard?
Yeah. XRD.
Oh yeah, yeah, XRD. I forgot it's Zard.
Yeah. I played a little bit of that, and that was quite fun. I like heavy metal soundtracks, which they have quite a few of.
Yeah, this isn't a heavy metal soundtrack that I'm listening to.
It
So
is not.
let's just nip that one in the bud right there.
Yep.
But it's all about Bridget, who's kind of ran away from home, I believe, because
Yeah.
he was forced to be a girl or something
Oh, okay.
by his parents, but still dresses in a nun outfit.
Fair enough.
It's
Who am I to judge?
it's a weird thing, and she uses yo-yos to attack people.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Yeah, she's a fun character if I remember right. She was in Guilty Gear XX. It was
Okay.
They have weird naming conventions with the games, and then you had Guilty Gear 2, which was a MOBA, which is kind of weird in its own sense, but it
was there
has
was there jungling in said MOBA?
jungling. No
Could you
idea.
jungle?
I bought it. What was that one called?
Wait,
The
how
one
how old is this game?
oh, Guilty Gear
Two, the
2.
MOBA.
It came out in the 360.
Oh, weird.
Called Guilty Gear Overtune, Overdrive, something like that. And it's basically like a League of Legends kind of like idea. I don't know why they went down that route, because that was the only game it went off
Because money.
track. Because art systems need money. Yeah,
Well,
probably.
if you get that MOBA formula correct, then you print money.
Yeah, but it was on a console.
Yeah. League, Dota, Pokemon.
Was that MOBA?
Oh,
Pokemon?
there's a There's a shit. What's it called? Pokemon on iOS, and it's on Switch as well. It's free to play.
All right. I think
Unite, Pokemon Unite.
Pokemon Unite. Oh, hang on. I found the game.
Oh no. What do we got here? Oh, Overture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Is it backwards compatible?
It might be. Oh, shiny box failing on the camera. You get to see that in the video episode. There you go. Plus for all your podcast listeners. Anyway, the main protagonist in Guilty Gear is a guy called Soul Bad Guy.
The whole bad guy.
SOL like sun, as in the big ball of fire, bad guy.
Sure. Okay.
I really want to get into it.
So
I really want to actually play it. Strive is. I'm really, really getting into the thinking of buying Strive, which is the latest Guilty Gear.
okay. Okay, that's fair.
It was kind of fun when I played the beta last year before.
I've been playing God of War, so
Oh, the 4.
just God of War. That's what it's called. So
Yeah, the God of War 2020 or whatever it was.
yeah. I just enjoy him shouting "boy" all the time. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he does the shirt boy, doesn't he? Boy, I haven't played it. It was free on Plus.
I
month.
bought it ages ago because I think it was down to like £8, and I was like, oh, I can't not have that. It's the guy who was in Stargate SG-1.
Okay,
I think
that doesn't narrow it down.
Christopher Judge,
Christopher Judge,
the guy who plays Teal'c.
Is it Teal'c? Is it?
Yep, I'm pretty. Yeah, it's legit him.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say there's a few guys in SG-1. Like you had MacGyver.
Oh yeah. Fuck, what's his name? Richard Dean Anderson.
Yeah, and he had Teal'c.
Yeah. I love that show. It was real good.
Did you watch any of the spin-offs?
I watched a little bit of Atlantis and a little bit of Universe, but I never got into either of them.
Yeah, I watched a lot of this early Stargate, and then I stopped kind of watching TV, or there wasn't on TV.
Yeah, I kind of at the moment I'm watching Picard. So,
Oh no.
have you watched it?
My dad was like, "Oh, I just seen an advert, and it was like Picard. They brought Next Generations back," and I'm like, "No, they haven't brought Next Generations back.
No, they haven't. They've deliberately not done that.
But this is something completely different." So they watched a couple of episodes of it, and I watched it then, and I was not interested.
Oh, I like it. It's good.
I don't like that. It's not Star Trek in a sense. It's not a Star
It's
Trek.
singularly focused on a story.
Yeah, and also a bit just doesn't go with the ethos of the universe that they created originally.
You don't think?
I don't think so. No, it's a bit all dark and gloomy and tries to put in relations to our kind of world, where like
I don't know.
the other series.
That last season of DS9 is about as dark as it gets.
Oh yeah, when I didn't really watch that either, but they had
DS9 's
other
so
things interfilling that. But then I suppose that's just the way shows are gone, though, in the sense.
Well, there's the new Star Trek show called Strange New Worlds or something like that.
where you're with Captain Pike.
It's supposed to be quite good. I haven't started watching it yet, but I've
Yeah.
enjoyed Picard so far. It's been good, but like I think it's just an interesting story. So
The last Star Trek thing I actually watched was Lower Decks.
oh, the cartoon, I haven't watched it yet. It's supposed to be
it's
good though.
it's alright. Give it a couple of episodes and it'll get good.
Talk about not really Star Trek ethos.
It's more Star Trek, more Star Trek ethos in that than is
Yeah,
in Picard or Discovery, in a sense, because
I
it's
like the
called
first
like
season of Discovery, but I tried to watch the second and just couldn't get into it.
I didn't I didn't like Discovery. It was I got to like 4 episodes in and I was like, ah. But maybe that's just
Oh,
me.
the end of the first season's good, but
Yeah,
I just did not want to watch anymore.
I think what it is I think everything's kind of like more short form these days. Like so when you did
Well,
the originals like Star Treks, you had
yeah,
like 24 episodes a season, and they were able to
yeah.
intersplice them with like just random things. Oh, Riker is going to go to Ryzen and convince Captain Picard to go there, and he's
Well,
going to get
there was very little story arc uh, episodes in the original series, in the Next Generation and in DS9. Like there was always an undercurrent of stuff, but it was always sort of like case of the week, episode of the week sort of stuff. Whereas with
yeah
the new, particularly with Discovery and Picard, it's like here's this story that this every episode is going to focus on.
yeah
Get invested.
yeah. No, it's not why I watch things for. Says he's watching Steins Zero, which is
Yeah,
one.
actually, it's a great segue back into it because we're talking about episodes 10 and 11 today. Uh,
We are. What
is
are they called?
weird coincidence because we're about 10 and 11 minutes into our podcast. Or no, we're like 13 minutes. Jesus wept. So episode 10, starting out, Pandora of provable existence, forbidden cubicle.
Yes.
Yes, that's a name.
They're not disappointing you in random names for their episodes.
Oh, they sure aren't. They
Um,
sure are not.
so what happens in this one, Steve? I watched it and instantaneously forgot about it.
I remember that this one is the one where they send round the cleaning Nazi.
Oh yeah, is this the clean Nazi one? Yeah, that's right.
that's that's my prevailing memory of this, and some just oh boy, some just really not cool stuff coming from Daru. Um,
Yeah, because the clean Nazi's Nye, the
yeah,
Mr. Brown's daughter.
yeah.
She's the youngest of them all
Because if we remember,
by a mile.
Moika has been hired as a bodyguard for Maho, and
Oh, is
is
that what she's doing there? Because I totally
and is
forgot
is
about that.
living. Well, yeah, she's looking after her essentially, and she is. They're basically both staying uh, in Ferris's place in that kind
Hmm.
of penthouse suite type thing.
Hmm.
And I think that they get a call to come and visit them, and they arrive with like Mayuri and Okabe arrive and
Hmm.
go, "Oh God, this place is not good."
I thought
There's like,
Okabe came round in the episode before and started cleaning.
he mentions it. That's when it's just her, just Maho.
Ah, right, and then both of them are there.
Yeah, and then it's like they're both there, and it's like, oh God, what is this? Wait, why did you bring us here? It's like, oh, to clean. You need to clean. Uh, and like Moika and Maho get dragged away by Ferris, and
Yeah.
then poor
Oh,
Okabe and Mayuri, and then it turns out also Daru
yeah. Yeah. I was
are dragged into cleaning.
one thing I remember about the scene is also you had the butler just cowering in the corner, all depressed.
Yeah, right, okay. I'm glad you said that because I didn't understand what was going on there. I just thought it was like, oh, that's weird. There's a ghost in that corner.
No, that's the butler. He's like, the fuck.
Okay.
I
Oh my
know.
God.
Uh, and
Incredible.
yeah, so Ferris has basically brought them along, and Mayuri's brought along Nye, the cleaning drill sergeant, I think they
Yeah.
call her.
Sergeant Clean.
Sergeant Clean. I think that's the name they were going with. And she just
And it's like,
basically has them lined up against the wall, berating them, saying, "Yeah, this, you will not speak." You know, just doing the whole
oh,
drill sergeant stuff. And
what is it?
then,
Daru said. Daru says something. And she's like, fuck you saying,
yeah,
bitch.
pretty much, she says,
And
I heard some creepy derogatory language. Who said that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's me, miss." Uh,
and the creepy derogatory language was him maybe getting a little too much into the little girl telling him what to do, which is not cool. Um, what? But what is it she calls him? She gives him like a nickname. She's like, "I'm going to call
Smile,
you this." I hope that
smiling
was it.
bear or something.
Oh, big smiley bear or
Big
something like
smiley
that.
bear. That's just even worse.
Like, I'm going to call you that, and it's like, "Yep, that's totally fine." It's like, "Now go and clean." He's like, "All right," and he just like starts
Go,
having to do stuff while she yells at him.
yeah, and he was loving it too much. Loving it
That was
far too much.
really
It
not
was,
cool. Really, really, really not cool.
yeah, I was thinking of you, Steve, when I watched that scene. I was like,
Yeah.
Steve is not going to like this one.
Even Okabe is just like, uh
How deprived are you?
yeah. It's like, how how broken are you as a human? Because like there there's literally a comment in one of them, but that was to do with Leskinen, where it's like, I would say that this is chargeable offense sort of commentary. And like, yeah, we're skirting into a lot of that here.
Yeah, yeah. This is felt very much like a fan service episode.
Yeah, because of course they Moika, Ferris, and Maho all go away, and they come back because they went shopping.
No, well,
Oh well,
Okabe,
actually, sorry, Ferris and Moika went shopping, but I think
Okabe,
Maho and Okabe hung out to
yeah,
talk, right?
they went and start talking and stuff, and he's got the new app for Carissa on his phone, and they both kind of hung out with the AI. Because I think,
Yeah, they go on a little tour of Akihabara.
yeah, doesn't she also like appear in like at the lab, and it's the dude. I think the episode actually starts. She goes to the lab and she looks at some random thing, and it's some random kind of like meme joke post, and then she goes into like the staff room, and the guy's like, "Haha, you love the improvements? What, you mean like the couch and the table? Yes.
That's right.
Always keep it simple, I say." So,
Yeah, he has a sign up that says something like, "Oh, please donate to me $1 for every time someone says this, because then I'll buy this food." It's like, what?
yeah,
You crazy person?
something like that. Yeah.
This is a loon.
Yeah, worrying loon. But let's see how much he is, because it gets a bit interesting in the next episode about that. So yeah, I think
Well,
Okabe starts.
she explains to Maho explains to Liskinen that Amadeus is now back up and running,
Mhm.
or can be. And he want her to start that up again? He's like, "Yep, you should go and do that."
Okay. Is that what happens
That
there?
that yeah,
Don't remember that
because I
bit.
think I'm trying to remember if Maho then starts getting interrogated by Kurisu about Okabe again, and Leskin is there going, "Haha! I hear you talking about that." It's just like, please, please stop. Please leave me alone. Let me live my life.
Yeah, I think she might do that, and that's the start. And then she goes back to their
Yep.
room at Ferris's, and
Yeah.
then they come and clean the place. And then Okabe takes her out, and she's going, "Oh look, computer bits," and going, "Oh, this is so
I
cute."
love computer bits.
Yeah, like what? All these PCB boards. Oh man,
Yep.
this is. Why didn't you show me this earlier? I didn't know you were like a weird nut.
Yeah, I did like his responses, and of course, yeah, because it's him and her, and also Kurisu on the phone. They're
Yeah,
kind of all touring around Akihabara together, and yeah, yeah, something like that. It's like, It's like, oh, I'm well glad that you found the stuff. It's like I'm more angry at you for not telling me this was here.
yeah.
It's like, well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
didn't know you were crazy.
Yeah. Um, and then they go to like an arcade,
Hmm.
and outside the arcade is like these weird cat dolls and a grabber.
Yeah, the UFO catcher.
Yeah,
Um,
which they kind of say is talk about at channel.
yeah,
And this is kind of what I never picked up on exactly that's what Caruso was trying to do, like hide from everyone. You know, they're all you're that type of person.
yeah,
And
and
she's like,
like in the
no,
original series where she's like
yeah,
hanging about on forums and stuff like that.
yeah. And she's no, no, I'm not into that. What? You're crazy. Go away. Um, but that there, I think, is a reference to Chu-chan, the kind of the Japanese 4chan.
Oh my god.
Because that character face is very much like the kind of like Chu-chan mascot. Well,
Well,
face.
is this the bit where he berates her about? He's like, "Oh yeah, don't hide yourself," and then she's like, "I don't like any of that sort of stuff," and then he like starts singing Rick Astley.
Maybe
He
because
goes like, "Never gonna," and she goes, "Give you," like, oh god damn it.
that.
I don't know why. Presumably Rick rolling fashion, but yeah,
I mean, it all started with 4chan or Chu-chan.
there you
It's
go. But
still
yeah,
still happening in the scene, I think. I don't know.
but the little cat thing, she tries really hard to get it and fails. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna go and get more money. And then Kurisu's like, "Hey, Okabe, like, be a fucking man and win this thing now." She's not here.
yeah,
He's like, "Okay, I guess."
yeah. And then it turns out she's getting it because it's for Krisu.
Yeah, or Kurisu's mom, right?
Yeah, well, Krisu had it, and then
Yep.
something about a fire, so she lost the
Yeah.
doll, and then
And he
Krisu.
says I didn't know about fire, and I don't think we did either. So
No, so I think that might be the whole. We're after Krisu's laptop stuff because she's got time travel stuff.
yeah, that would make sense.
Um, that then they go
Although not that group, because that group would want the stuff in there. Maybe the other group
maybe
that
the
we'll
other group.
see in a bit.
That's next episode, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and then they go into the arcade and play some racing games, and I think he gets thrashed.
Yep, Maho completely trounces him at every single racing game and puts her name on the high scoreboard everywhere.
Yep. She gets carried away, she says. And I think they go back to the flat, to Ferris's place, because it's all clean now.
When do we get to the sleepover bit? Has that happened already?
No, I think that's about to happen. Because everyone gets
Oh
ushered
boy.
away, I think. Because and Ferris comes in and takes Maho and
Moika. Yep.
Moika, um, takes her away to for a sleepover. Sleepover time!
Yep.
And then the kind of just there, and what has in like a panda onesie thing.
No, Maho is in a onesie. Moika is in a red negligee for
Yeah,
whatever reason.
yeah. I think it's just fan service, and
Oh,
especially for the
I mean,
next scene,
yes,
because
where Ferris is like, oh, let me give you a little tickle in the boobs there.
pretty much overzealous, tickling the boobs.
Yeah, and Moika is so perturbed with this. She is bright red and starting to speak. That is how bad it's gotten.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of no permission was asked here. Ferris is just getting on in there.
yeah. First certainly does get on in there. Anyway, so I think there's a bit that, and then after that, Monica starts writing the experience in her diary.
She does because she wants to write a book.
Yeah, and then she also explains that she's not worthy to exist type thing, and then
Yeah.
Maho is like, shut the fuck up. Everyone
It
deserves to
is.
live,
It's
man.
the
Your self worth, and then she gets pretty much upset in that sense because I think that reminds her of Caruso.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
and then they kind of all just go to sleep in the bed because they eat all the food and
Yep.
sleep it away. And first hugging Mocha's leg
Yep. And
as they sleep.
whispering into her side.
Something like, yeah, oh, it's weird.
It is
And
very
then
weird.
that's in that scene. Um, what happens next?
I just remember how the episode ends, and I think it's kind of leading up to that. Is where we end up in a scenario where it's Maho and Okabe talking, and she is wrestling with the idea of explaining to him, like feels that he has the right to know about the laptop
Yeah,
that she's been keeping.
yeah, I think that's it. I think, yeah, I think that's
I do think that's the next scene.
yeah. So she explains that, and he's like, "No, you can't be doing that. That's kind of like the Third World War shite." Did he? No,
He gets super. Yeah, he goes, that could spark World War III, and she's like, World War III, what, why?
yeah. I mean, I don't know that. Or a really intelligent, headstrong scientist who seems to have lost all that edge now.
Oh, well, I feel more it's the like there's a bit of context missing here.
Yeah,
She's because she's like, not sure why that would be the case, but yeah, all right.
that's Okabe doesn't explain about the time
He does
travel stuff.
not. No, that
No,
is that is yet to come.
that's
Uh, all he does is yell at her and say, "Hey, we should destroy that."
yeah. We need to destroy that World War III
But
and
she
stuff.
explains, "It's like, well, I don't have the laptop. It's with somebody I trust who's trying to get into it."
Yeah, but is that not now on to the next episode?
Well, I think does she not explain that at the end of the episode, or is that maybe it's the beginning of the next episode? Maybe you're right.
Yeah,
Well, no, the beginning of the next episode is like a montage of the past.
is it?
Yes, because it goes into more of the Amadeus and Salieri stuff.
All right, okay.
So,
Possibly.
but yeah, I think you're right. I think she does explain that to me at the start, the start after the credits of the next episode. But yeah, this episode basically ends on the bombshell that laptop could basically if unlocked, spark World War III by giving, well, we know it's because it would give the Russians and the Americans access to stuff about time machines.
Yeah, yeah. That's that. Um,
And that's this episode.
yeah, I feel like we're missing something.
I
But
mean,
like,
probably it's not my favorite episode.
oh, I mean, I know why. There's like 2 scenes of
uh,
cringe for you, at least.
it's pretty cringy, but to be fair, I did like the Sergeant Clean was still pretty funny, so
Oh,
I was down with
yeah.
that.
Until Dari came, disappeared.
Yeah,
He literally
until he made it not cool.
he made it. It was like literally. He wasn't shown at all. It was just
Yeah,
Okabe and
and
Mayuri.
Maho. Oh,
Yeah,
Mayuri. Yeah, you're right.
and
Sorry.
Maho were there, and then just like, all right, we'll got Sergeant Clean, and Okabe was like, Sergeant Clean, and it's like, yeah, wait, is that Nai? Yeah,
Yeah,
that is Nai. She gets really super
she
Nazi
stood
like.
up on like a table to start with to like be taller than them.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah, I like that.
Shout maggots. And then like she comes along and does all her bit, and then like halfway through it, it just kind of camera pans out, and Darius says like that uncouth thing and goes, and then Okabe's like, when did you get here?
That's so silly, but very funny. I
Yeah,
love it. Okay, how do you rate this one?
I think I give it a 6. Certainly,
Yep.
it went downhill. They're building on relationships in this one, I think, more like trying to get Okabe into a relationship with Maho more.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm all for more episodes with Ferris because she makes me laugh.
meow.
Yeah, I
Now
that
such.
just makes me laugh. Like I also like the fact that she now seems to exclusively wear big fuzzy cat paws all the time.
Yeah, and the hood. She always wears
Yep,
the hood now. It seems like
it's pretty good.
it's winter. There was some one
Well, it
bit.
is winter.
Yeah, it is winter.
Yeah,
Oh, it's the next episode coming up.
it's
That just
y- y-
makes me go, wait, what? That happened really quickly.
well, episode 11. I agree with your assessment. By the way, I also think it's a 6. Um, Episode 11 is Pandora of Forgotten Existence, Sealed Reliquary. Whew.
Wow, what's so sealed?
Uh, I I think I remember the start of this episode being that Maho is remembering the fact that it's sort of the kind of discussion about Amadeus, and it has like a scene of uh, Kurisu like hearing Mozart and being able to tell Maho who that was, like what piece it was, what
Oh,
all the information.
that's right. Yeah.
And it's sort of a kind of an overture of Maho saying that she felt that her relationship with Kurusu was quite like Salieri's relationship with Mozart. And Salieri, well, Mozart was a musical genius who just made music because they were a genius and that's what they did, and that was the only thing that mattered to them.
Yeah.
And Salieri, they wanted to be that, but the only thing that mattered to them was trying to beat
Mozart.
Mozart. And I
Yeah.
think that's a little bit how Maho feels about her relationship with Kurusu. They were friends, and they loved each other, but for her it was always about trying to be better and trying to be more like her, trying to excel. It seems like really it's kind of sad, quite a kind of a sad thing, because I think we see that Maho really believed that Kurusu was just genuine genius, and she had to try so, like, she wasn't naturally gifted like that. She had to try so hard to be smart.
Yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense because yeah, he was naturally a genius. Saw it in
Yep.
the last episode, and her father hating her for it and stuff like that. Last season, the original Steins game.
So yeah, I think that's sort of where it kicks off, and then it shows you like her signing into the computer, like her computer with Salieri is her login credential for her computer.
All right, yeah.
I think it's there's a comment I think that Okabe makes later. It's like, is that significant? She's like, nope, nope.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it all completely defines my entire being.
Was that? Yeah, she was logging into our office machine with the that login
Yeah,
out in the
I can't
wild.
remember if that's this episode or if it's the one before, but
I think it might
I
have
think
been the
it's
one
this one.
before.
Maybe it is. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's the kind of the kickoff, and then we basically get to the point we talked about earlier on, where Maho is saying, "Oh, I don't have the laptop right now. It's with someone I trust to unlock it, but we can go and visit them to
Yeah.
try and get it back." And they end up at some sort of clothing, like dry cleaners type place.
Clothing shop or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and they get spied on. It's like I see you here type thing.
Yep.
Go right through the doorway next to the maid
It's like
uniform.
right to the maid's outfit, and you're like, oh wait, hang on a minute.
Because you don't hear the voice. It's just like a text message.
No.
Uh, and then they go down, and then it's like Daru's in a darkened room with like computers, and it's his side gig, the thing keeping the lab alive.
Yep. This whole time, that's how
Yeah,
he's been paying for shit.
yeah, cracking into like computers and stuff. So aye, he's like, oh, I don't normally meet people, got to keep it all anonymous type stuff. But since I seen this laptop and saw the name, I knew it was you type thing.
Maho didn't know. Maho only knew that he came highly recommended and was trustworthy.
Yeah, yeah,
But of course, like you say, as soon as Daru saw Carissa's name on the laptop, it was like, oh yeah.
yeah. I know that name. Uh, so anyway, they were trying to hack into it, and he says, "Oh, I'll be another few days." And
Yep.
then Okabe goes, "No, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that." And then starts to go into something, and he's like, "Oh, Maho's here. Can you leave the room? I need to talk to someone there," type thing.
I need you to get out.
Yeah, it's about time travel. 'Cause he's hinted about time travel
He's
before.
he says it's like this could, he says something about time travel in his anger, and then it's like stops himself. He's like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
I need you to get out.
yeah. So he also then does he not like say it could affect Suzuha too
Yeah.
in that same moment?
Yeah, do you have any idea? It's something like that. It's like, what this could mean for Suzuha, and he's like, and she's like, oh, what does that have to? What does she have to do with this as well? Of
Yeah,
course, not really knowing the relationship there. Um, but yeah, Maho leaves the room and then kind of stands outside, going, time travel.
yeah.
Time travel.
I think 'cause he's also alluded that Carissa was into time travel. Well,
Oh, he has mentioned that she
because
talked about it, I think.
yeah, and then she's trying to like dig deeper. Well, that was last episode. She was trying to dig deeper into how much she knows about Carissa type thing because it's been bugging her. It's like, yeah, you obviously known her for a lot longer than what she was over here for type thing. How did
That's right.
how do you know that? And it's like, ah, well,
Tell you.
reasons I'll tell you. Anyway, so they haven't.
I knew her for a time.
Yeah,
That's as much as I'm willing to say.
Yeah, and then Dara's basically like, don't you want to like bring Maho into this type thing? It's like, no, not really. Can't be getting
What?
anyone else involved. And then they convince him to bring it in, and then he asks Maho, promise me that you won't try to bring Kurisu back.
He won't try to save her.
Yeah.
He doesn't say Kurisu, does he?
No, I think he says save her. But, wait. Did they go to the radio building last episode?
Oh yeah, they did. That was during the tour of Akihabara, where they went
No,
to visit.
was it?
It was at the end of that,
At the end of that bit.
or at the beginning of that bit. It was either the start or the end of it. But yeah, they go and visit the room
Yeah.
because he says something like, uh, because like it was my fault. Like he's kind of almost implying that it was his fault, but stops himself and then goes and throws up.
Yeah. But you also mentioned that it's going to get teared down now.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the bit I was thinking, it's only been 6 months. And they're
Yeah.
going to tear it down now. What?
And there's a time machine on the roof.
Yeah, I suppose that's just first. Maybe. I don't know. Just trying to put people
Yeah,
off. No one there anymore, so there's talk about tearing it down. But
yeah, it's weird.
maybe it's just Ferris's deflection
Yeah,
because of
yeah,
the
maybe.
she's keeping Suzuha's secret tight on top. Anyway, so they're in there, and he brings Moho, and then he explains it all, and they're like, "I don't what?
Yeah,
I knew you wouldn't believe me," type thing. It's like, oh, it's not. I don't believe you. It's like it's just a lot to take in.
yep. And of course, she immediately goes to the idea of, oh my god, we can fix this. He's like, no, no, no. Remember, I specifically said, don't do this. It does not end well. You think that you have a control of the circumstances, but you don't. You change one thing, anything can change. You don't know.
Yeah,
And she's like kind of deflated at that thought, I think.
yeah. And then I think it's interrupted at this point by
Oh yeah.
intruders. Those
Intruder.
red lights flash on Dara's screen, and he's like, "Oh shit, they're here!" type thing. Didn't think it'd take me this long to find me, and then it's like, "Right, cool. Don't make too much noise or they hear you, but he can escape through this big hatch because there's got to be a big hatch, man. Dara's not small.
Yeah, Daru's a barrel, remember?
Dara is a barrel, yeah, and he gets through, and then they kind of running across rooftops with planks and
Yeah.
shit. But they
And
get spotted.
Daru's kind of doing like Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove. He's kind of like going bum 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 bum, and like hanging against walls and rolling about. Well, Okabe and Maho are just like walking like normal people.
Yeah, and but they get spotted by the mystery
Someone.
bike rider.
Hmm.
Uh,
So
and
we should
then
mention these are likely the same people that uh, arrived at the lab.
yeah, they certainly seem to be similar people. Well, they certainly there was two of them, I think, or is it the same person?
Oh,
Because
I thought it was two people.
I thought it was two people too. Might be two people then. Which interesting thoughts. Anyway,
Yeah, I think I know where you're going.
so anyway, they escape and they go down to the alley, and Daria makes the comment, "This is the last building before we get into the clear," type thing.
Yep,
And
last
then
building on the block.
they get grabbed. Well, Maho gets grabbed and had a knife
Yep.
up. to the throat. While Daru has the laptop in the bag, and it was like, hand over the laptop, and we're like, no, not hand over the laptop type thing, or yeah, I will hand over the laptop, but you got to trade Maho for that, and then you have a big back and forth, and that Okabe was like, you can take me as a hostage because I know that I won't die somehow.
Fair.
He's like, yes, me and Daru are safe because that's obvious, but I don't
I
know about
I
Maho.
I did I didn't like his like I don't understand the logic.
It's because he knows, because he's in the belief that he can't change anything, and he knows that he's technically still alive in the future because he's sent Suzuha back.
I guess.
This is his the weird time
But they
jumping
might have already
logic.
altered it to the point where he's about to die.
But he would know because of his
Oh, it's reading Steiner. Yeah, you're right.
Friedensteiner
Shit.
shite.
That's yeah, God, he is clever. And
Yes,
potentially suicidal.
yes, clever. Anyway, so they make the trade, and then all of a sudden, a car pulls up at the end of the alley, and have submachine guns of some sort, and goes and just like does a drive by and starts shooting it, and
They just
destroys the
open
laptop.
fire.
Yeah,
Yep. And shoots the hand of the baker chick that was holding it.
yep. Shoots the hand of the biker chick that's holding it, and then comes and they drop it, and the laptop's in bits, and then they make sure it's in bits more by shooting it more on the ground.
That was one of my favorite things. Was they literally walked over to the laptop and just went like it was almost like that scene from Office Space where they're kicking the shit out of the printer and like they're having to drag one of the guys away from it. It's like that laptop had personally offended them and their family.
Yeah, and then basically it's basically like one of those weird scenes where you get like the guy that's gunning everyone down, and then they come along and just make sure that everything's dead. They do like the headshot itself. So from that point, um, and then they just drive off, and the other people kind of just run away.
Yep.
And then does it go cut to like the airport scene there? No,
No, it cuts to the
no,
hospital because they needed to get Okabe there because he'd been shot in the neck.
no. They didn't go to the hospital. They go back to the lab.
Did they go to the lab first?
They didn't even go to the hospital because he was like,
Wait, no,
"No,
they
you got to
do,
go.
don't they?
You got to go and see a doctor." And it's like, "No, doctor's asked too many
Oh,
questions." So he's kind of holding that, and then Maho's like, "I can't open my hand," and she was gripped a bit of the laptop.
yep. She was
And
upset. Like, is this the conversation they have about like her being frustrated that they couldn't do anything? Because the whole reason she didn't want to destroy the laptop because it was Kurus's legacy, and it was
Mhm.
her job to make sure that other people saw her brilliance.
Yeah, that's essentially I think what's going on there. Yeah, but Okabe was like, "No, you can't be seeing any of that shit because that's this world war, world ending crap."
Yeah.
And she's convinced her not to do it. So yeah, she's held it, and she couldn't open her hand. So Okabe prizes it open, and it falls to the ground, a bit of the laptop, and then
Yeah.
they have some conversation of some sort, but they end up going to Ferris's place because that's where also she lives, and Ferris is kind of
Yeah,
like
that's right.
mending Okabe. He's like, "Oh yes, you got the first aid kit. We need the
Hi,
we the
Moika. I brought the thing. You need this. It's like,
yeah
yep, that's it. Thank you for sneaking up on me with that first aid kit.
yeah yeah and then Yeah, so
We
that
should point. Sorry, just very quickly. We should point out that Okabe is sizing up Moika at this point because he knows that person got shot in the hand, and he had suspected Moika before being one of these agents,
yeah,
but noticed that she didn't seem bandaged or hurt, and he was pleased that that was the case.
yeah.
So
It doesn't seem like it's a CERN agent,
matter,
yeah,
yeah.
at the moment. So he's kind of happy about that. And then Mahol is in the shower, going to take a shower. And then she kind of collapses on the on the
Well,
ground.
I think she's like having a conversation with herself. She's like, "Oh, tensed all my muscles, and now I feel weak. Oh crap!" Just
Yeah,
like collapses, and who is it goes to see her? Is it
it's Ferris.
Ferris?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ferris.
God.
I think yeah, Ferris goes to see her. So, I wonder what Maho's up to. And she's like,
Oh
"Oh
meow,
God,
God.
she's
Oh
dead.
meow. She's dying.
She's
And
dead.
Okabe's like, oh no.
What? What?"
We
And
should
comes.
mention, of course, that she's come out of the shower, so she's just wearing a towel.
I think she was about to go in the shower.
Was she going into the shower? Yeah,
I
okay.
think so.
She was
Yeah.
not red. Yeah, she was in a towel anyway. The important part.
Yeah. Tell. And then Ferris is trying to pick her up because she also has no power. And she's like, "She's dead," type thing. And Okabe comes. I think she calls Okabe over to
She
help.
does.
And then
And he
Okabe
just
comes
stands
in.
at the door going,
Uh, what? And
as
then
poor
Ferris.
Maho.
Yeah. And then the till slips. And then it ends with her bed going, "I can't move," type thing. That was kind of embarrassing. And he was like, "Yeah, that was." And he says,
Please tell me you'll forget that. I'll try. When someone asks you to forget something, just tell them that you will.
"Yeah, because I will make you forget by
Yep.
stabbing you in the brain."
Yep. He's like, oh, yeah, that sounds very
No,
much like Kurisu. I'm gonna,
wasn't wasn't the brain though. It was like,
no, was it the eye?
no, it was the brain. It was like some part of the brain though,
The hippocampus?
hippocampus or the one of them. There, she's going to
What,
stab him
what
in the
one of the
brain.
other parts of the brain?
Yeah. She's going to stab her in the brain so you will forget. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that sounds pretty much the Carissa thing." And then Chris was like, "Yeah, don't tell man." He's like, "Yeah, but don't." She's always like, "Don't tell the management about it though," type thing.
So
uh,
they end up having a bit of a deep and meaningful, as we said, about like Kurisu's laptop, and now that it's gone, no one will ever know, and she feels
and
guilty about that.
yeah,
And yeah, what is it? She like, I think she thinks that she's worried that she's taking a bit of pleasure in the fact that that work will never be seen. Like again, where like the Amadeus and Soliari, because like Soliari caused Mozart's death, I think, in the movie, at least. Anyway, I don't know, or is like not not directly but indirectly responsible. And I think like Maho feels the same here, and that at the same time, like this gives her an opportunity to excel and to be known, and is
yeah,
feeling guilt in that.
yeah. I think it was something along those lines. Yeah. And then I think Okabe ends up just kind of like going, "Okay, right, I'm going to go now," type thing. Say, "Oh, don't go. You can stay a bit longer if you want till I go to sleep." It's like, "Yeah, okay, that's fine." And then they have some random conversation, and makes Mahol really
Set up.
embarrassed, and she crawls underneath the covers. I think they get
Yep.
pretty intense. I was like, "Oh, yeah. Well, you seem to be all right now. I'm gonna go. See you later."
Because you won't be able to sleep with me here now.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye. Pretty much. And then they leave, and then I think it goes to the airport scene because they're
It does, yeah.
going back to America.
Yep.
And the professor goes, Okabe, you can come back to America with us and as a lab member. I'll try my best, see if I get my studies up, type thing. And then they're we kind of talk about time travel and the laptop and stuff with Moho. She says, "Oh, by the way, you're going to get your access revoked to Amadeus, so might want to say goodbye." And he does, and then it's like a wee heartfelt goodbye there.
Hmm.
Where he advises her, and he ends up saying something. I can't remember what it was to her just before. It's like nothing. Bye.
Bye 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 bye.
Yeah, and everyone's there to wave them goodbye. Like you got Okabe, Daru, Mayuri's friends. Not Suzuha though. Well, that's Suzuha's thing. Oh, and he explains this that he's told Suzuha that the laptop's destroyed, so therefore, with World War III shouldn't technically happen.
Yes, and like Suzuha has not quite come to terms yet with the fact that that might be the case. So
Yeah, it's possibly it hasn't happened. Anyway, but then it also alludes to Yuki. Is it Yuki?
yes, Yuki is Daru's future wife.
Yeah, who has a new bandage on her hand, and people go, "What happened to your hand?" Oh, I hurt
Clumsy.
it. I cut it doing something like that.
Yep.
No,
Mm.
so I don't think Okabe has picked up on that.
He has not, because I think that's not him. He's not part of that group that notices. We should
Yeah,
say that Mayuri seems quite upset about the fact that Okabe might be leaving.
yeah. Okabe just says it's like, and she was like, yeah, no, that's cool. If he wants to stay there, that's cool. I'm not going to hold him back." Type thing. But yeah,
Uh,
it's making some weird moves with Mayuri and him.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, I don't know.
don't know what's going there.
But
Anyways,
they say their goodbyes.
mm-hmm.
The professor has extended an invite to Okabe to join them once he's finished his studies. And it shows you them on the plane. And of
Yeah,
course, it's not just Maho and Leskinen, it's also that other doctor. Is it Judy?
I think it was Judy. Yeah,
I want to say it was Judy.
we'll go with Judy. I'm calling her Judy now.
Judy Reyes. That's right. Judy
Yeah,
Reyes. And she's on the plane too.
yes, with her hand underneath a blanket,
Under.
which is focused on by the
Yep.
camera. It's like,
Yep.
what are you trying to tell here?
Ooh.
Oh, so
Interesting.
yeah, so there's like two of them, right?
I thought that too, is that maybe it's a bit of a triple misdirect of like, oh, it's totally her, but it's not her because there's only one of them. Oh, but there's two of them. Oh, but why would they both have a hurt hand? It's like, well, we don't know she has a hurt hand. We're just suspicious of her anyway.
Yeah,
Who knows?
I mean,
Could be her and Yuki.
she's totally focusing on like the hand on the end because that was like the last scene.
Yep.
That's where episode 11 ends. But yeah,
Yep.
so I don't know, man. I think it's
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
misdirection and very much a Scooby Doo skit now. Where it's just going to go, who's behind the biker person's mask this time? It was Daru.
What was the thing where it's like, this isn't a monster at all. It's a blood fountain, and they just rip his head off, and just like all the blood. Like, what was that in? Ah,
It's
God damn it!
wait, that would be Harry Birdman, surely.
I wish I could remember what that was from.
Was that
Oh
actually
no.
the Scooby Doo that gang? It did that.
No, it was a piss take. I just can't remember what it was. He goes, "This wasn't this. It was a blood fountain."
Sounds like a meme.
It may have been a meme. I don't know. I'll need to inquire around. But how do you rate this episode?
Has a bit more action in it. Well, like I say, I only watched them like what
2 hours ago, an hour and a
yeah,
half. Yeah.
yeah, a few hours back, and I literally texted you since I finished them. I was like, I've forgotten these episodes.
I think I need to start taking notes. I really didn't want to do that, but I think I might have to start taking notes.
They don't have the same grip as the Steins Gate Zero for me at the moment. It's got
Oh,
stuff there, but it just doesn't. I don't know what.
I think it's that there's a lot going on. That's my thing is that we now have so many characters to keep a
Yeah,
track of.
yeah, maybe.
And it's not just time travel plot. It's AI, it's laptops, it's time travel, it's the relationship. Like there's so much going on all the time.
Yeah, well, we're going to lose two or three characters, and the
Yes, for now anyway.
AI side of things because they're now flying back to America. So it'll be interesting to see which way it goes, and like what they're doing for the next 20, 12 episodes or so. How they all gel together. They're just like, oh look, we're
Yeah.
guys, and this is a thing. And this is Karisu. Again, only not really the one that you know because it's just AI representation of her mind before she left. Get killed in
Because
Japan.
remember, we still have Kurisu slash Mayuri's future daughter kicking about.
Oh yeah, because was that when was that this start of this episode? Because they did show her in one of the episodes, and
They show her at Ruka's place, I think, in this episode, and they say, "Boy, you sure do like that song, that advert."
yeah,
And it's because it's got a Mozart song.
all right, I didn't pick up on that
I think that's what it is.
because obviously it's Chris's daughter thing.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Um,
that's the connection they want you to take there. So,
yeah, and
so
Mayuri.
what did you rate this? What did you give it?
Oh, I didn't give it a number yet. I'm
Oh, okay.
deflecting, just like they are deflecting with their hands. I'm going to give it 7 because it was a bit better than the last episode in the fact it had more action,
Yep,
more intrigueness, and who's the one that's doing all this stuff,
yep.
and puzzlement as they've eliminated three of the characters.
Definitely
Essentially,
a lot of what the fuckery going
what
on.
they're just leaving now. What?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting times.
Yeah.
Well,
What about you?
we've done it. I think a 7. Also, I agree. A bit better than the last episode. Not quite as good as some of the previous ones, but I think we're starting. We had a big ramp up at like episodes 5 and 6 and 7, and it's kind of trying to take us a little bit back down again. And I think we're about to shoot back up into, oh my god, stuff happening.
Maybe, man. Maybe we'll see.
But yeah,
Or
it'll be
or it's
good.
just tailed off. It's like that's it. That's the whole story.
It literally just goes like this until it finishes.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a big downward spiral.
Downward spiral.
Well, we've managed it again. You have listened to another episode of Who's That Anime, the anime podcast. Today we discuss episodes 10 and 11 of Steins Gate Zero. We will be returning next week to discuss episodes 12 and 13 of Steins Gate's hero. As we said, Who's That Anime is an anime podcast and can be listened to wherever good podcasts can be found. Our home is at anchor.fm/Who's That Anime. We can be listened to on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Audacity, Stitcher, Overcast, Pocket Cast, and anywhere you can use an RSS feed. We have a Discord channel. I have left a link for this in the show notes. We have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Who's That Anime. Usually in there we put up the new episodes and just anytime we see anything that's funny anime related or any cool news, like for example, a new series of Trigun. That could be cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. We'll see.
Should be good. Yeah, we'll see. I do love the original, so I'll hope that this is good. We also have a YouTube channel where Colin painstakingly takes the video of elements of these podcasts, edits them, and puts them up onto YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for Who's That Anime. I think the latest ones, we've got the school days ones up, we've got the Pokemon episode up, and
the first section of Steins Gate. So
Steins Gate. Yeah.
So next set should be the second part of Steins Gate. Should be out
Original OG Steins Gate.
Yeah, in a week.
Damn.
Got a week, and then you get to see what we've been on about with Steins Gate, not Steins Gate Zero. Legally different from Steins Gate Zero.
Definitely.
Anyway, so I need to get working on those, and then we'll have possibly the vampire one after that.
Vampires in the Garden.
Yeah. And then we'll start into the Steins Gates Zero stuff.
Gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
After that,
we're just gonna upload when we're ready.
Yeah. Well, we're on to we should. Yeah, so that'll be fine. That'll be 6 parts there. Oh Jesus. Oh.
You need to write yourself a calendar.
I don't need to write calendars. Calendars are on computers.
You need to type things into a calendar.
I type things into calendar. What do I have for this? Let's look at my schedule on my Google thing. YouTube release repeats every 2 weeks on Sunday until.
Do you name the episodes in it?
Steins Gates Part 2. Oh, I'm on the ball on this one.
Yeah, you are.
This is also the last one of the repeated schedule, so it's not on anymore.
So my comment stands. My comment stands. So yeah, YouTube channel is there with our entire so far up to the first part of Steins Gate is all up there and ready to watch.
And the Pokemon movie was the latest
Pokemon
one.
movie. I did have a watch of that. It was a good episode. That had our special guest Robbie on that one. Pokemon Expert.
Mm-hmm. Pokemon Expert.
Expert.
I can work out how to put the background in because he changed it from white to red and gradient, and I didn't like it.
Oh.
So that's why I didn't have the background flashing away in the back. It's fine. Works away.
It looked all right.
I'm not blaming you. I'm totally blaming you.
That's fair. So yeah. Also, Colin and I like to play video games on occasion and sometimes like to stream said video games. You can find Colin doing so at twitch.tv/couchfuel and myself at twitch.tv/hailpayman. There's also YouTube archives of both of those channels. There'll be links to all of this in the show notes because there are so many links. Yeah. And a final thing is, I think that's everything. Other than, I suppose, to say reviews. We don't really make any money on this. And if you wanted to leave us a review, that'd be super cool. 5 stars always appreciated. Anything less with constructive criticism also appreciated. And if you wanted to tell someone about what we do because you think it's good, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I just want to also note that our streaming channels aren't exactly active at the moment, and I think my
Oh
schedule.
yes.
I need to edit the schedule in Couch Show because it says that we're doing this every uh, once a week every so many days.
And that's since Golden Boy.
Yeah. Well, no.
Maybe
I, th-
Ghost Stories.
I think we went into Ghost Stories, which was over a year ago now.
It,
So
it was. It was a long time ago.
don't follow the schedule. It's on Couch Fuel stream. I only really revisited that recently and went, oh, yeah, I should probably not have that anymore.
I think there's still some merit to us maybe playing through some Steins Gate games at some point, since I do own them all now.
Hmm.
Um,
We do it.
yeah, I also have purchased a game that I will be playing on my channel, I think, at some point soon. And Colin, I think I would very much like you to join me to do so.
All
Um,
right, yeah. In person.
oh well, no, I think like we can make it work with the tools like we did when I did Silent Hill 2. I think we can make it work.
With the tools that we got.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I remember you doing Silent Hill 2 for a bit.
Yeah. This
Okay.
game is called Mortuary Assistant.
Mortuary Assistant. Why?
It's a first person game.
Yeah, it's. I assume it's like what was it? That's Doctor Simulator thing.
Oh, a bit like Surgeon Simulator except serious.
That's actually serious.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck, that's even
As
worse.
as a fucking heart attack.
Is it? Is it VR?
No. No. Although it could be, probably.
You have the abilities.
I do. I have an Oculus.
Yeah, to
Maybe.
do the VR.
Maybe we could, yeah, we could maybe get that going at some point. But I digress. There will be games at some point, and we will be back next week though with more Steins Gate
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Zero, Steins Gate Zero.
or Steins Gate Zero. It's good to. We need to definitely. Oh man, my brain's dead. I can't even remember what the word I'm going to use. Define that. Need to define that because it's Steins Gate is different from Steins Gate Zero. As you found out when
I
you
just,
first tried to watch Steins Gate.
yeah, and going this, what the fuck is happening? And it's like, oh no, this is the second season to a thing you have no idea about.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Uh, and it
You,
was.
I think we both made that same mistake though, right? Where you watched it and went, oh no, this shouldn't have happened yet.
Yeah, I think I was. I went to. I went. Wait, what? That's not like what the first episode's about. I know that. Um. Yeah. So when do you think you were finishing this up? Start about October time.
I think we'll be finishing this up in October.
Yeah. Okay. So Tiny Cakes comes 28th. Uh, part two. Then halfway through September, I'll be doing like the special episode. And then end of September, we Steingate Zero, and then we'll have another special episode, and then second
Yep.
part. So I got up to maybe October time because I think
Yep.
we should have plenty of filler episodes as such.
Well, I still have that. Is it Memories? That movie I bought.
Oh, you got the yeah, it's a series of movies that
It's like three vignettes.
yeah from what's his name who did Akira.
Yes, and they look cool. So
Yeah, yeah, they were pretty cool. I remember reading the manga. My mate bought the manga ages ago. What
oh
many,
nice.
many, 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 many moons ago, and I read it, and it was pretty cool. So, then I think I have watched them myself, but they're good. They're pretty good. They're
Yeah,
kind of interesting short stories. They're essentially manga short stories.
That's cool. I also picked up Elfen Lied on Blu-ray as well. So
Elfen Lied. That's the one that kind
Psychic
of.
Girl.
Yeah, that's the one that kind of ends.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is it. This is done now. Bye. See
Yep.
you next time.
That show has both a very definitive end and a very definitive start. Because it goes from 0 to 1,000,000 so fast. Like, so fast. I love it.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It's not my favorite show, but that first episode is just wow.
Yeah. I've been expanding my collection too. I bought
Oh, yeah?
the first book of Akira
Oh, nice.
because I was at a Comic Con thing. It was just in the churches along from my flat
Oh, nice.
with Oz, and he was selling the first volume and says, "Oh, you don't have the rest of them." And says, "No, not really. Well, technically I do, but the reason I'm selling this is because I bought the big hardback box collection of them all. So I'm now selling this because I don't need it." It's like, all right. And then
That's a very pretty collection.
yeah, and then I bought more Battle Angel Leah. We need to watch that. We need to watch the OAV.
Okay.
I want
Well,
to go back to proper manga VHS releases.
if we're gonna do that, then we're just gonna have to watch a bunch of a bunch of Devilman.
Ugh.
Ugh. It's just so
Ugh.
good. It's just my favorite thing. Celtic Frost, The Heart Beneath.
Yeah. Devilman. Yeah, I can rewatch the original OAV of Devilman because
Really not very good. Like today, watching it back, you're like, yeah.
yeah, I never they did a Netflix series of it.
I watched the Netflix one. It was not good.
Nah, I stopped watching halfway through.
I did the same. I tried because like I thought it looked good, like visually looked very cool, but characterizations and stuff like that were just really quite dull. It felt vapid. But I guess Devilman was never really deep in any way.
Not the OAV, not the anime of it. I think
No.
the manga might have been a bit better.
Yeah, I never read any of it. While we're on that, my recommendation, I am like going on to book 5 of Chainsaw Man now. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting concept. I am looking forward to that anime coming out in October. So.
Oh, is that just the first season of it then?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Also, they announced Tower of God season 2, which I was pretty stoked about.
Oh yeah, I still haven't watched any of
that. Tower of God's good. Like it's worth a watch.
It kind of reminds me of Hunter x Hunter.
I've never watched that.
Wow, there's it came out and the exams seemed to like be a big focus and stuff, so they had to go through like an exam, become a hunter person, and one of the exams is to progress through a big tower.
Nice.
Uh,
Nice.
But it expands from there.
Well,
anyway,
okay.
I think that's probably
you send
good.
us out.
Yeah.
Yep, send us out.
So that's been Who's That Anime? A podcast about anime. I'm going to use anime because we are talking about anime.
Yeah. Who's That Anime? Question mark. A podcast about anime? Question mark.
Yeah. Question mark. And that's it, folks. See you next time. Same anime place, same anime time, and enjoy what's left of summer.
Yep. Peace out, folks.
Peace. Bye.
Like we may have discussed more not the show today.
Sergeant Clean, the Get It Clean Queen. Sergeant Clean. Queen's in charge now, maggots. It's time to whip this place into order.
Oh, Nye, is that you?